Okaere nasai, nakama, and welcome back to another Nihongo video. Today we are still going to be on lesson 4. In yesterday's video, we talked about past tense and past tense negative with nouns, which would be deshita, janakatta, and for verb is masen deshita. Wait, I believe it's masen deshita, and mashita. Please forgive me. Mashita and masen mashita. So, today we're going to be, you can find me on page 27. So, right here. Mashita and masen deshita. So, on page 27, go ahead and grab your Genki book if you have one. If you don't have one, you can follow along with me. I will be showing you guys depictions as we read and go through today's lesson. And in today's lesson, we are going to be finally on lesson 5. Last page on lesson 4 is the days of the week. You guys can pause the video and see these yourself. I'm gonna try to show you guys as clearly as I can. So, now we'll be going over lesson 5. I'm gonna read the stories for lesson 5. いい天気ですね。そうですね。でも、ちょっと暑いですね。きれいな海。And then, Ken says, 泳ぎましょう。So, and then, Ken says, ロバートさんはどんなスポーツが好きですか？ロバートさん says, サーフィンが好きです。What does that sound like to you guys? 明日、一緒。My bad, guys. 一緒にやりましょうか。Ken says, でも、難しくないですか？ロバートさん says, 大丈夫ですよ。My bad, guys. I can't really see the hiragana in the katakana. So, I'm gonna go ahead and read story 1 for you guys. And it says, Robert says, nice weather. Ken says, yes, but it is a little hot. Robert says, yes, wow, beautiful sea. And Ken says, let's swim. Ken also says, what kind of sports do you like, Robert? And Robert says, I like surfing. Shall we do it together tomorrow? Ken says, but isn't it difficult? And Robert says, no. Now for the second story, we have at the souvenir shop, Robert finds nice t-shirts. So we have Robert saying, すみません、この T シャツはうくらですか？ My bad, guys. Excuse me. And 店の人 says, 千は give me a second. 1800円です。1800円です。And Roberto says, L サイズがありますか？ And the store attendant says, はい、ありますよ。Robert says, じゃあ、L サイズを2枚ください。Now, for not lesson 2, Jesus. I'm going to read the English translation for story 2 now. Robert, excuse me, how much is this t-shirt? Store attendant, it is 1,800 yen. Robert says, do you have a large size? Store attendant, yes, we do. Robert, then 2 large ones, please. Now for the third story, on Monday at school. So we have Takashi again. ロバートさん、旅行は楽しかったですか？ So there's a lot of flies around here too. Roberto. Now Roberto says, 沖縄の海はすごく綺麗でしたよ。So, and Takashi says, よかったですね。僕の海が大好きですよ。大好きです。not ですよ。My bad. That's my fault. ホテルは It's like a tongue twister. Almost. I'm so sorry, guys. 高かったですか? Jesus. And now we have Robert saying, いいえ。 あまり高くなかったです。これ、お土産です。お土産です。Then we have Takashi saying, ありがとう。Robert saying, 高橋さんのデートはどうでしたか? And Takashi says nothing but periods. So, third story reads, Robert, did you enjoy the trip? Robert says, yes, the sea was very beautiful in Okinawa. Takashi says, good, I like the sea very much too. Was the hotel expensive? Robert says, no, it wasn't so expensive. Here's a souvenir for you. Takashi says, arigato. Robert says, how was your date, Takashi? And Takashi says nothing. So we can all expect what happened with Takashi. So, now the vocabulary is going to be some of the story that they always use. And it also is going to be some new vocabulary words. A tip to you guys right quick. When you first learn your new vocabulary, what I want you to do is take a flashcard, write the hiragana or katakana or the kanji you want to memorize. I recommend you not try to do kanji right now. I recommend you do the hiragana and katakana from the page of the vocabulary that you're learning from. Take a flashcard, write the Japanese on the front and write the meaning on the back. And just flip through your flashcards and do however many you can study in a day. Take like a 15-minute break and then come back and study those again and again. Make sure you also study your grammar rules. Now we're going to get into today's vocabulary, lesson 5's vocabulary. So, food in Japanese is tabemono. Drink in Japanese is nomimono. Notice how they almost take the front word of to eat and to drink and add mono, because mono in Japanese means thing. So, fruit is kudamono. Holiday, day off, or absence is yasumi. Of course, we have furu yasumi, but I'm not going to get into that right now. So, travel is ryoko. Sea is umi. Surfing is safin. Souvenir is omiyage. Bus is basu. Pretty simple. Weather is tenki. Homework is shukudai. Test is tesuto. Birthday is tanjoubi. Room is heya. I used by man. Basically, boku. Watashi is mostly used by, women. So, and ore is used for, more masculine men. If you're at let's say a bar or something, you would say orewa, stuff like that. So size L is L size or eru size. So, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys that. It's right there. Oh, you guys can barely see it because the sun's glare. My bad. So now we have I-Adjectives. So, new, atarashi, old thing. It is not used for people. That means you cannot call people old by saying this word. So this is furui, hot, and this means weather. Asui, cold weather, not used for things. Samui, hot, used for things. This is asui. Now it says hot weather asui, and a thing used for hot, and a thing used for hot things asui. Hot weather is also asui. See, the thing is, the only difference there is to notice the kanji difference. There is two different kanjis when you're using asui. We have a different kanji right here and another kanji right here. I'm going to show you guys that in a minute after I'm done reading the I-Adjectives. So now we have busy people, isogashi, large, oki, or ungaku. Is that right? Ungaku. Oh no, I think that's wrong. No, it's dai. My bad, guys. Small is chisai. Interesting or funny is omoshirui. Boring is sumaranai. Sumaranai. Easy or problem. Or like a kind person. You can say this as a kind person, but it's usually used for like an easy problem. So yasashi. Difficult is mizukashi. Good looking. I mean, like myself. I'm so retarded. So we have kakkoi. Frightening is kawaii, not kawaii, because that's the opposite of kawaii. And fun is tanoshii. Inexpensive, cheap is yasui. And I'm gonna show you guys right here. It's down there. And also, what I was talking about with asui and asui, you can see the difference. Asui right there and another asui right there is one that look like raindrops. So na-Adjectives. So fond of, or to like, you will follow up with the ga particle. It's suki. So you say sukina. So when you're using nouns, well, I get into that because we're gonna get into that. So disgusted with or to dislike is kirai. Very fond of or to love is daisuki. To hate is daikirai. Let me say that a little slowly for you guys if you can't catch the kirai part. Dai-kurai. Dai-kirai. Because dai means huge or big. Kirai, to hate. To hate something. Beautiful or clean, like myself.
Stop the cap.
Kirei. So, healthy or energetic. Ginki, like myself. Again, I mean, it's a lot of words referring to JV. I mean, I'm just saying. Atama ga yoku nai na. See? You hear that? Lively. Nigyaka. Not busy or free. Hima. Not. Verbs. But I'm going to show you guys these not adjectives first. They're over here. Not adjectives right here. Now for verbs, we have to swim, and I still have to actually go back and memorize these myself. I have my flashcards in the house. But oyogu means to swim, and they're verbs. Now remember, they're verbs, so they conjugate. Verbs conjugate like imasen. Verbs conjugate like masen. Verbs imasen. Like we practiced and we went over. To ask a person, kiku, and to ride or to board something, moru. To do or to perform. Unlike suru, which is to be able to do, this is to do or to perform an action or something. That would be yaru. And sorry for the crickets, guys. If I'm probably gonna again try to cancel out the noise for you guys, but I guess I need to start recording like more earlier. So another verb is to go out, which would be dekakeru. So I'm gonna show you guys the verbs now. Verbs are over here. And you guys can't see that right here, and dekakeru is right here. Dekakeru. Adverbs and other expressions. Together. Ishoni, extremely. Sugoku, like extremely hot. You would basically just say sugoku asui, it's extremely hot. And you would say this, it's extremely hot. But in a more informal situation, like if I'm just speaking Japanese normally, I would say Sugoku asui da, or like Sugoku asui da, something like that. You can add like a particle at the end, but I'll get into like those other particles later. But anyways, it's okay not to worry. Everything is under control. It's daijoubu, and very is totemo. Again, you can use these words, these adverbs and other expressions, and pair them onto something else. So you can use, oh, it's very new. You can say like totemo atarashi, or you can say totemo asui, totemo samui, totemo chisai, totemo ookii, totemo sumaranai. Very boring, very cold, very hot, very new, very old, totemo furui. And then we have these right here. What kind of, donna, what kind of, and mai being a counter for flat objects. We have, and we're gonna get into more because we have a counter for all type of things in Japanese. Hopefully you guys can see that clearly. Okay, now to get into present tense adjectives, almost said adjectives. These are two types of adjectives in Japanese. I-Adjectives, some I just went over, and not-Adjectives. They conjugate for tense, present and past, polarity, affirmative and negative, and so forth, just as verbs do. The two types of adjectives follow different conjugation patterns now. You just add this to both I-Adjectives and not-Adjectives for affirmative present tense sentences. In negative sentences, you replace the last E of an I-Adjective with kunai, and I'm going to give you guys an example in a minute. Not-Adjectives are just like nouns. You only need to change the des to janai des. So the present for I-Adjectives, an example would be samui. The affirmative version would be samui des, it is cold. The negative would be samuku nai desu, or samuku arimasen, and it is not cold. And the not-Adjectives for this is genki desu, she is healthy, or he is healthy, or is healthy. And the negative version for this, it would be genki janai desu, or genki ja arimasen. And I'm going to show you guys right here. Yeah, that's clear. So, and is that book interesting? その本は面白いですか? And the person says, no, it is not very interesting. いいえ、あまり面白くないです。So now we have another sentence. Are you free today? 今日、暇ですか? And he says, no, I'm not. いいえ、暇じゃないです。So, with both い and na adjectives, you find two negative forms, ないです and ありません. The ないです pattern is more colloquial, and the ありません is more conservative and more appropriate in the written language. Just like negotiating with nouns, see lesson 2, じゃ in the negative version can also be replaced with では in more formal situations. Don't apply na adjective pattern to い adjectives. It is wrong to say 寒じゃないです, for example. That would be wrong. じゃないです goes on na adjectives, not い adjectives. It would be 寒くないです or 寒くありません, not 寒じゃないです. So, unlike verbs, adjectives conjugate fairly uniformly, which basically means one way. The only irregularity worth noticing at this stage is the behavior of the e, good. The first syllable of e is changed to yo in all forms except the dictionary form. Compound adjectives like かっこいい that are built with e follow the syllable change, and we say かっこよくないです. Present, this is the irregular. E is the normal, which means good. Affirmative, we have e des. Negative is よくないです or よくありません. And what I said earlier, where you could say, basically, it's kind of an insult to someone. You can say, or you can say 貴様の, but I'm not. Please don't go out and saying 貴様の to people, because 貴様 can mean you can say, or it can also mean like a curse word, or it can mean you in a very rude way. So you can say 貴様の頭が良くないな, and it basically means you're not very smart. So if you want to say things like very hot and a little hot, you can add the degree adverbs like すごく, extremely, とても, very, and ちょっと, a little, slightly before adjectives. An example right here, the sea is very beautiful in Okinawa. Okinawa no umi wa totemo kirai desu. The sea is very beautiful in Okinawa. This room is a little hot. Kono heya wa chotto asui desu. Adjectives. Now this is the past tense for adjectives. With e adjectives, you can change the last e to katta desu in the affirmative. In the negative, you only need to change the past tense kunai to kunakatta desu. Now adjectives are again just like nouns. Don't confuse the two patterns. It is wrong to say samui deshita, for example, because samui is not a na adjective. It is an e adjective. Now I'm going to give you guys an example. This is the past for samui. Affirmative for samui would be samukatta desu. It was cold. The negative would be samukunakatta desu. Or it could be samu arimasen deshita. It was not cold. For the na adjectives, we have genki deshita. She was healthy. Remember, na adjectives are just like nouns that don't change. So, genki janakatta desu or genki ja arimasen deshita. And I'm going to show you guys right here. It's right over there with the past tense of the e, yoku. And over there. So, now we have some more examples, a little more examples. So, was the exam difficult? テストは難しかったですか? So, and the person says, no, it was not difficult at all. いいえ、全然寒かし. Not 寒かし. I don't know where 寒かし came from. Please forgive me. 難しかなかったです. And was the town lively? その町は賑やかでしたか? No, it was not lively. いえ、賑やかじゃなかったです. The e adjective, e, good, is again irregular. The first syllable is changed to yo, irregular, e. Affirmative is yokatta, yokatta desu. The negative is yokunakatta desu. Or yoku arimasen deshita. Nouns, for noun modification. Now, noun modification is important because it's actually going to teach you how to just say e adjectives and not adjectives in general. Like if you want to just call something beautiful, or say like someone was healthy, like say something is healthy in general. So you can use e and now adjectives to modify nouns. Place the dictionary form of an e adjective before the noun you want to modify, right? with not adjectives, you see not, which was missing before this return, just like this. So you would say sukina. So sukina shashin. I like the picture. So with an interesting movie, this is e-adjectives. It says omoshiroi eiga. Now this is for na adjectives. You would say kirei na shashin. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys that. That is very important. Make sure you pay attention to this. So we have some more sentences up here. I saw an interesting movie yesterday. Kino amoshiroi eiga o mimashita. Professor Yamashita is a scary teacher. Yamashita sensei wa kowai sensei desu. I took a beautiful picture in Kyoto. Kyoto de kirei na shashin o torimashita. This town, this is a very vibrant city, forgive me. Koko wa totemo nigyaka na machi desu. So you see how when they say nigyaka, they say na after the noun, which would be machi. Nigyaka na machi, lively city. Or vibrant city. Nigyaka na machi desu. So now for suki and na, kirei na. Be careful using kirei in Japanese, because kirei in Japanese is a very strong word. And in Japanese culture, you know, that's why we have systems of it being nice and try to be as formal as possible with meeting strangers in Japan, because Japan is supposed to be very beautiful sightseeing. That's why strangers go there half the time. And it's also supposed to be very formal. So some Japanese adjectives are like verbs in English, and they take a subject and an object, sukina, to be fond of or to like, and kirai, to be disgusted with or to dislike. Or examples, if you like something or somebody, for example, watashi wa will be the subject and the object of your affection will be wai ga. So it will be watashi. So right here, x wa wai ga. Watashi wa. So right here, we have x wa wai ga suki desu, or x wa wai ga kirei desu. So basically, it would say watashi wa, the person, ga suki desu, likes or dislike. So we have an example right here. Robert likes his Japanese classes. So we have Robato-san wa Nihongo no kurasu ga suki desu. Professor Yamashita dislikes fish. Yamashita sensei wa sakana ga kirai desu. If you like or dislike something or somebody very much, which I hope you don't, you can use the intensified forms of suki desu and kirei desu, namely daisuki desu, like very much, and daikirai, to hate, which are more often used than the degree modifier totemo in combination with suki desu and kirai. I'm not going to tell you guys the modified version for whatever reason, because I'm not like that myself. So I'm pretty sure you guys can't figure out the modified version by yourself, but I'm not gonna say it on my YouTube channel. So Takashi likes coffee a lot. Takashi-san wa kohi ga daisuki desu. Sora hates natto, Japanese fermented soybeans. Sora-san wa natto ga daikirai desu. If you want to be neutral and say that you like neither, that you neither like nor dislike, you can say something. You can say something like this: Suki demo kirai demo nai desu. I neither like nor dislike it. You can use suki na and kirai na as modifiers of nouns. For example, you can say things like this. So we're saying this is my favorite book, right? So we say, "Kore wa watashi no suki na hon desu." Kore wa watashi no. This is my favorite book. Kore wa watashi no suki na hon desu. So we have maso and masoka. So I know these are very short. I know maso is very short, but I actually want you guys to go ahead and I'm going to show you guys maso and masoka, because it's still a little difficult for me to get maso and masoka. There you guys go, and I'm gonna read over that right quick for you guys. Maso and masoka. Take a long form. I'm gonna try to read this as best as I can, because masoka really stumbled me, because we have You know how we have masenka. We have masenka and masoka. People get confused because one is for invitation and one is for an invitation too, but as what you've already done with that person, not to get confused. So take a long form of a verb and replace the mas ending with maso or masoka, and you will get the Japanese expression for let's, which you can use to suggest a plan of action. Let's study in the library together. 一緒に図書館で勉強しましょう. Shall we drink coffee over there? You would say, あそこでコーヒーを飲みましょうか. So in counting in Japanese, when we use items in Japanese, we use different number words for different kinds of items. The words used for counting people are different from the words used for counting books. For example, number words come after rather than before the items counted in a sentence. So Lee bought 3 t-shirts. So we would say, Ri-san wa t-shirts wo. It would be 3枚, 4枚, etc. And then you say, 買いました. And then the number word 3枚 is made up of the numeral 3, the counter mai. This counter is used for sheets of paper and other flat objects. There will be other counters in later lessons for people, for books, for stick-like objects, and so forth. You can find what counter to use for what kind of items and see how the sound of number words change in the combination with counters in the table on page 380 through 381. So, and we have an expression notes right here. I'm gonna go and show you guys these expression notes. My camera has been on for a good minute. Make sure you guys can really see that. So now we have some practice. I'm gonna show you guys this practice, but I really don't have to, but I'm still gonna show you guys this practice. So for the practicing part and the pair work, like I said, you guys are gonna leave a description to test your Japanese knowledge on that website. When you test your Japanese knowledge on that website, you can do tests and you can go over and look in your Genki book, or you can hook up online on that website what the meaning of something is. Or you guys can let me know if you guys purely want me to try and do like a video on pair work alone, really, if you guys really want me to. So that will be it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. As always, your Japanese teacher. I might not be the best teacher, but I do try my best. And as always, make sure you guys subscribe. I'm trying to reach 120 subscribers now. You guys already got me to 110, man. Like, I just hit 100 yesterday. I gained 10 subscribers overnight. Thank you guys so much again. And JV is out. Ja, mata.